So door manners means that Midas should sit at doorways and wait for permission before going inside or outside. So when we go to the door, we're going to tell him to sit. If he sits, we're going to click for it and reward. If he doesn't, we're going to tell him no and pop up on the leash. Sit. Good boy. And when he takes the food, he needs to stay in the sit. Good boy. If he doesn't stay in the sit, no, sit. When you give him the food, just take it away. Tell him no, sit. And wait until he's seated and he's not trying to bite your hand and he's not trying to jump. I can remind him sit before I open the door. Sit. No, sit. He was just kind of in a bad spot. And then when I'm ready for him to go through, I'm going to say his release word. Free! Good boy! Good boy! Good job! So Midas should sit at doors before going inside or outside, and you either go together or human first. He never goes first. Sit. You can feed him for staying in his sit when the door is open. Good boy! No. Sit. Free! Good job! Good boy! Well, inside. Oh, careful. Be careful. Good job. To put Midas in his crate, you're going to walk up to the crate. Come on, Midas. Crate. No, crate. Come on. Good boy. And the food doesn't go in until after he has gone into the crate. If he's having a hard time when you go home, going in when you ask him to, when he comes out, you're going to tell him free. But if he has a hard time going in, you can throw the food in first just to get him used to it. Great. So if he didn't come in there, great. Good boy. I can throw the food in first. But the goal is that he'll go in without the food and then I can reward him. Great. Good boy. Great. Good boy. Notice he understands again. So his crate's not usually here. If your crate's in a new spot, you might have to go a step backwards and throw the food in first. Free! All right, Midas, great. Good boy. Now he's going in and out for treats. So whenever he comes to coming out of the crate, he has to wait for the word free. He's not just going to bust out because the door opens. So before I open the door, I'm going to remind him, crate. Crate. No. Crate. So if he tries to come out before he's supposed to, then I'm just going to shut the door and tell him no. Crate. Free. Good boy. Good boy. Midas. Crate. Good boy. And notice the food goes directly into the crate. I'm not going to hand feed him for this. I want there to be a lot of value in the crate. Crate. Free. Good boy. Good job. When you walk Midas, you're going to keep him on one side. I've been keeping him on my left side. I'm going to keep my treat pouch on the same time that I'm going to walk him. And then I'm going to click when he sits for me and when he gives me eye contact, or if he's just sitting right at my side where I like him. If he goes too far ahead, I'm going to stop and I'm going to pop my leash and tell him no. And I'm not going to take off again until he tries to stop going ahead of me. And I only feed him whenever he's not jumping on me or trying to nip at my fingers. Boy, Midas. Okay. If he jumps and tries to attack the leash, I'm going to tell him no and wait for him to calm down, ask him to sit when he does calm down, and then continue on our walk. Good boy, Midas. Good boy. Good boy. Easy. to directly feed down by my side because this is really where I want him to be. I want him to be right here, so I only feed him when he is right here. When I stop, I can ask him to sit. Midas, sit. No, sit. No, sit. So whenever Midas does not sit the first time I ask, I mark it with no, and I give an upward leash pressure or a pop, and that tells him his butt should be on the ground. Good boy. When I'm ready for him to get up, I'll say his release word. Free. Come on, Midas. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. If he tries to pick something up and puts it in his mouth, I tell him no, and I pop him away from it. Other than that, good boy. See, I don't have to ask him to sit to reward it. I can still reward him for offering it on his own. Midas. Notice how loose the leash is. He's choosing to walk next to me. I'm not forcing him to. I'm not keeping a tight leash. It should be super loose. Good boy. Midas, sit. No, sit. Good boy. No, sit. Free. Good boy. Come on. If he's lagging behind, I don't correct him. I just encourage him to catch up. So when he's too far behind me and he's not paying attention, Midas, come on, good boy. Good boy. And I feed him when he does catch up to me to teach him that this is where he should be. Good boy. Come on. Come on.